Imagine starting a business. You're finding flow. It doesn't even feel like work to you. That is the inspiration, that kind of vibe, that feeling that you are going to get from the most magnetic guest today. Her name is Aysat, and she is the founder of Ayodi. Now, Ayodi is a new brand that she's launched, and it's for those of us who really need a little deeper moisture for skincare. But even before she became a founder, she was also a musician for multiple years, very successful, started her own label, signed other musicians to it, had them be successful, then went and made her mark on TikTok with fashion and is now starting this brand. So she is a superpower and so inspiring. And I cannot wait for you to hear this episode. I'll see you inside. Thank you so much for joining us here on Her First 3 Years. I'm really excited to hear about your journey, how creative it is, how vibrant, and then what you've got planned. Thank you for being here.
My absolute pleasure. So yeah, I started so long ago. My story is very complex. I pivoted a lot of times, but let's say that I started in the music industry and then somehow ended up filming fashion videos in my bedroom.
So you were a musician, a singer, right? That was your calling initially.
That's what I was born for. That's what I thought. Never wanted to do anything else. So I started very, very early, telling all my teachers, English teacher, mathematics teacher, history, everything. I was telling them I'm a superstar. And I was a child and I was already telling them I'm a superstar. Recorded my first songs. I was not even a major. I was not even 18. Quickly got signed to major labels. I was 18 the first time. And then, yeah.
And then because you achieved what a lot of people don't, like they could be called to be singers, to be professionals, and that doesn't happen, but you achieved it. And then how did it change to you doing fashion in your living room?
Thinking that I was so young, and then I did this for 15 years, but then my entrepreneur mind, I founded my own record label, and then I signed 6 artists, and then I signed them to major labels. So yeah, all this did not occur overnight. It did take over a decade. Then I moved to the UK, I would say by ambition. The English language is spoken by so many people around the world. Maybe we should just try. So I left everything, left my family, my mothers, my friends, took my kids and my husband, and we moved.
Wow.
So that's what happened, basically.
So I'm amazed because also you achieved the second hard thing to do, which is to go off on your own independently, create your own label, get other artists, also get them to be successful. These are things that people work for decades and they never achieve. So
it's just my passion. I do this. It's not even work for me. It's not work. It's just having fun. I had so much fun over the last 15 years. I was not working. I was waking up and just having fun doing the thing that I love the most in life. And that's the reason why I don't think I deserve anything for that. Like it was just having fun, honestly. Some people are really getting up in the morning, doing things that are not necessarily super glamorous, and they deserve everything.
I'm always fascinated by people like you who have found the passion they really enjoy and feel this way. I think it's something that I have always wanted to find, that everyone listening wants to find. And so it's helpful to hear from you. I'm also a bit curious though, when you went to the UK, did it initially in the beginning, was it how you thought it would turn out? Was it like different than you thought? What was that first, let's say 6 months to a year like when you take your whole family to another country that speaks another language?
Oh my God. It was nothing like what I was expecting. Honestly, it was tough. It was super duper tough for everyone in the family. My son, the youngest, he did not want to learn English. He was like, no, I'm not bothering speaking English because I'm going back to my family in France. So this was something super tough first. And then not really having a plan, not really knowing what we were going to do, or even the plan that we thought we had didn't work out. It was very, very tough to find our place in this country. The mistake that I made when we arrived was to panic. Because when everything is not clear, when we don't really know what to do, I panic. This is the mistake that I made, and I would advise other people who want to do the big jump and move country or like do a big change in their lives. Do not panic, because everything is going to come into place. It's normal to feel a little bit of fear at the beginning. It's normal to feel lost. It's just normal, but do not panic. Everything is going to be all right.
I also moved to the UK. Now, it wasn't a second language for me because I was coming from the US, but I also panicked. So
you know what I'm talking about. Even though you do have this a little bit of lost period, things started to fall in place and we started to be happy again.
Was this when you started to look at more into fashion and leaving a bit of the music career behind? Is that when the shift started happening?
So the shift started happening way earlier, but I was not realizing it was a shift, actually. I started to post fashion content in 2015. I had a fashion vlog and I started to post pictures on Instagram while doing the music stuff and while founding my own music label. So I was already doing both, never really being consistent when it comes to the fashion content, but it was still something that I always had in me and that was bringing me so much joy. I was feeling a little bit like it was something that allowed me to go away from the stress of the work calls, the meetings, the contracts, the negotiations, just putting outfits together, take pictures. It was just so nice to have this part in my life. So this is when I really started to post fashion content.
But I can have my creative, no stress, no expectation life with just choosing what I like in fashion and putting it up there and connecting.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would describe it.
And then when did it change to be more than just the stress therapy?
Actually, after I moved to the UK, I was posting some videos on TikTok. I gained a little bit of traction on my account by myself, and I have been encouraged by one of my artists that I have signed. He was like, you need to post on TikTok. You're going to see. It's amazing. It's an amazing platform. He is way younger than me, like 12 or 13 years. And I was feeling too old to do this. I was feeling too old. I was like, no, I'm a respected singer and songwriter. I'm not doing any of your TikToks. I just started and we quickly went viral on this app. And for the first time of my life, a lot of people were telling me, you are beautiful. This is not something that I have been told ever. Reading these comments of people telling me that I am beautiful, that they like my skin color, that has been kind of an insecurity when I was younger. It was kind of finding a home for me. Then we moved to the UK. I asked my husband to join, and then the kids, and then we started to make family content, and then we went viral so many times. And now as a family, we have like 3 million people community, which is absolutely insane when I talk about it. So amazing. And then I started the fashion content on the side by myself. I would say it's how it happened. When it really became serious, I became full-time 3 years ago. Basically a full-time content creator 3 years ago, and now a founder.
Didn't actually realize that you had been not only a creator, but really an entrepreneur for so long since you started, because as a musician, you are an entrepreneur, the business of yourself.
Exactly.
When you mentioned TikTok, it was a little nice shiver because I feel like sometimes we don't feel seen, or we're worried that something that feels so insecure is the thing that people are going to judge us on, and to have them really celebrate it, that must have felt like I'm going to do all the TikToks in the world now.
It has been life-changing. And I often reach out to this artist. His name is Brian. And I often reach out to him just to say, thank you. This has been life-changing. I know there's a lot of things that can be discussed regarding social media, and totally conscious of that. And I'm super careful because we post content with our kids. But there's also some magic.
Before I ask you more about what you're doing now, because that's something we're really curious about, last question about this from the creator life is, how do you manage to just keep kind of calm and balanced when you also have this community that's so big, and it does require showing up online also with your family? Like, do you just wake up in the day and you're like, oh, I'm gonna say hi to my 3 million fans? How does you think about this in your mind?
It has been a journey. It is a blessing, but it comes with a lot of non-expected issues, stress, a little bit of pressure, because we hear a lot of, be careful, the algorithm, you have to feed the algorithm if you want to continue growing. You have to show up every single day or else you are going to lose followers. I kept hearing about this for over a decade now. So yes, it did come with a lot of pressure, especially when we became full-time. I told you earlier, I'm a workaholic. I love working and I only like working. It's terrible, but I had to learn to rest and take time for myself. Learn how to disconnect, because this is not something that I ever done, ever. Even when I was going on holidays, it was for the kids. I'm on my computer working. So this is a lot of things that I had to learn, because with social media, you have to be consistent. You have to post a lot almost every day, and you cannot be consistent if you are tired or sick. You have to learn how to balance, because it's not going to work long term. Other than that, it was a lesson.
Is that sort of what inspired you to become more of a founder and start Ayodi? Because then it's like a different way for you to have impact to work, or was there another reason that you started it?
So, to be totally transparent, I first protected this brand, Ayodi, when I was 19 in France. I went to l'INPI, which is where you go to get my brand trademarked. And I was 19 and I had my vision already. I wanted to build body care products for people with super dry skin, because it is an issue that I have been dealing with since birth. And it's not easy to find good products on the market. I have been using products from Africa. From my mother was coming from Africa with, little bags with pure shea butter in it. But the smell was a problem. It smells super, super strong. And also the finish on the skin was super greasy. And also the packaging was not glamorous. Like, I wanted glamorous experience out of the shower with amazing products that smell amazing and packaging that are luxurious maybe. And so I had the vision from a very, very young age. I then gave up on that dream because something happened. I wanted to find funds to start the business, and I went to business angels. And because I was so young, unfortunately, they laughed at me and at my project. It was another time, let's say. It was another time in life, over a decade ago, almost two. The market was very different. Business angels, there was not necessarily access to funding like we have right now. And they just found it very funny to see a little girl coming and asking for 20, 30 grants to start her brand. So this disheartened me for a long time. And then I guess believed what they said to me, that I was not ready. And so I gave up on that dream and moved on to the music and just gave up. But I'm back.
There are so many people who will be listening that have something they've wanted to always do, and they didn't because maybe they were afraid, or maybe because they had your experience where someone said, who are you to create this? Or we're not going to help you. And the resources were not there back then. I know it too. Not in any country were they available. Interesting too, because I bet they didn't even really understand your concept and understand why it's so important. But I do, honestly, because I have very dry skin. The only time I ever find products that work are when I go to Brazil. And I remember growing up and using Udder Balm. Do you know what Udder Balm is?
Oh my God, what is it? What is this?
What farmers use, or like rather dairy farmers, to put on the udders of their cows, because it's super like pumps moisture, but it's not worse than your shea butter.
We have the same story. So it's needed. It's needed. Someone needs to tackle this. Totally agree with you regarding the lack of resources at the time. Lack of resources. It was, we were by ourselves. And now things have changed. We have the internet. We have the possibility to build communities. We have the possibility to meet people with similar stories. If people look at us, nobody would tell that we share the same issue. I think it's wonderful. It's so beautiful. I love this.
And I think too, you're speaking to a lot of people who, some women will be like you and they always understood that their skin needed more moisture. I grew up not really understanding why I needed so much. Cause I was like, it doesn't make sense. Why did none of these products work? I don't get it. I don't understand.
I relate to this so much. We are going to have way more possibilities in the future. We'll have way more choices, way more options in the future because women are on it. That's what I truly believe. And the world is going to be a better place.
Because now it's not just about like, how can we make the product that smells the best? And that's like what some random guy came up with. Let's make all the women smell like flowers.
We want more. We need more. We have specific needs that need to be addressed and that have been overlooked for way too long.
What is your first hero product you're thinking for Ayodi? What is the first thing you want to release?
So the first product I'm gonna release is a product that I worked on for 2 years. It took us almost 2 years to get the formulation right. And it's the moisturizer. It's going to be moisturizer, natural ingredients, that smells absolutely divine. I'm so in love with it. It's the perfect moisturizer. And I cannot wait to get it to all the people who have been struggling with dry skin for so long.
What is the thinking behind the brand name and also the brand visuals? Because I know that you've got this background in business and in fashion, so I'm sure there's some story behind it.
The Ayodi name comes from, so I found it when I was 19. I was looking for a name for my brand. I asked everyone to help me around me at the time. And nobody could help me. I asked my mom, but maybe you have some words in our language, which is Pula. We speak Pula. We're from Senegal. Do you have some words in Pula that I could use for my brand? And she was like, I didn't go to school. I cannot even read. Ask someone else. And one day, my mom, she says, Yodi. And I say, yes, Yodi. Yodi means it's beautiful. It is beautiful. It clicked in my head. I was like, Ayodi. Because Ayodi means you are beautiful. It made sense. I was like, okay, this is my brand. I see it. I feel it. It was my brand. So went to Linpi and protected it. And yes, over a decade ago, I'm back with it and it exists. And wow. It's crazy.
I think it's so powerful because it means a lot when you translate it to English, but it also means so much in your language as well, like your multiple identities.
And when I think about it, when I think about the story, about this pivotal moment that really was life-changing, I told you earlier that for the first time ever, a lot of people under my videos were coming together and telling me, you are beautiful, which is the exact translation for Ayodi. And it makes so much sense. And I didn't even realize at the time. Yeah, everyone needs to hear this. Everyone needs to realize how beautiful they are. And unfortunately, the world is built in a way that just a small little category of people have the chance to even hear this once in their life. But everybody in the world should be able to just hear it from their loved ones at least once, because we are all really so beautiful. That's really what I think. And we need to deconstruct a lot and realize this finally. Difference is so beautiful.
Everyone does need to hear and also to feel it. And a lot of the things that would help you to feel it, especially in the beauty industry, have not existed for a lot of people. Super frustrating. Like for us, if you don't find products that allow your skin to feel smooth and comfortable, then you're always like, you don't feel beautiful. It means a lot to create the possibility for people to not just hear that they are beautiful, but to actually feel it as well.
Feel it. It has to start from this. Everyone should be able to take care of themselves and just without any makeup or any clothes on themselves, just see the beauty, just feel the beauty of themselves. Everyone should be able to do this. And that's, I would say, my mission. This is exactly my dream for everyone. This is my dream.
Okay, I'm so excited to see when it launches, but also like a few years from now. This is slightly changing direction a little bit, but I want to make sure I ask you before you go, what were some of the difficulties or challenges or things that came up when you were creating this product that you didn't expect, or maybe that you learned something that you didn't realize?
It took a very, very, very long time. I was never expecting the first formulation to be approved after 2 years. Found the team to work with me. They told me, oh, in 6 months, it's going to be fine. It took 2 years. So this is not something that I expected. And I would say I did not really feel like anything was super challenging. But one thing that drove me crazy was the waiting. You have to wait a lot. I was never expecting this. And sometimes just to get an answer from an email or just for someone to call you back, like you have to wait so much. But that's it really. Other than that, everything was just so cool. So amazing. Such an amazing journey. So
Yeah, I can't imagine because when you're creating a product business, you have so many things you have to wait on, from like the branding to the regulation to the people creating the formula to like getting the supplies for the formula.
oh my God. And every single step involves a lot of waiting. That's exactly this. A lot of steps, different steps that I also had to learn. A lot of things I had no idea. For example, the testing. You have to be tested for so many different things. And this is not something that I knew about. So I learned a lot.
This is why one day I would love to do a product business, but I always feel like, do I have the patience? I don't know.
You definitely have to train yourself a little bit first. But it's worth it. It's so worth it. Once you have the baby, the little bottle in your hand, oh, it makes you so proud. So it's just like giving birth. You just forget about every pain that you felt. It's just so amazing. It's great. So yes, make babies. Bottles, I would say. Bottles.
Well, the pain is over and the wait is coming to an end. So where can
Yes.
people connect with you? Where can they find Ayodi? Where can they buy it? Like, what are all of the places? Do not hesitate to share one. We'll put them in the show notes too.
So, for the Ayodi products, everything will be on ayodi.skin. Ayodi skin, not the dot for Instagram, but TikTok, ayodi.skin. You can find me on Aysat, Aysat, every single platform.
Because you have such an amazing magnetic energy
Oh
about
my
you.
God, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you
for
so
being
much. It
here.
was amazing speaking to you. Amazing.
And thank you so much for listening. This episode, this has got to get you feeling energetic and really ready to go. It's so magnetic. I hope that you are thinking about the dream you've been sitting on, the thing you've wanted to do. And if you are intrigued by what you can do for your skin, if you face any of the issues that we have or that we talked about, make sure you go and find Ayodi. Also, I'm going to include all the links in the show notes that you need to connect. Please share this with anyone that you think could use the extra spark, and I will see you in the next one.